we got a Weber barrel keg grill. What we're going to do is we're going to do direct and indirect heat. We'll start out with direct heat, and the way you do the direct heat is you put your coals on the bottom tray, and we're gonna learn how to start the coals with no fluid. So you take some ordinary newspaper, wrinkle up loosely, and this is your fire starter. On this side you have a coiled end. That's where your paper goes. And you fill that paper completely up to the top here, stuff it. And all you do is just crinkle it up, put it in there. Stuff it to the top of this rim. You flip it over. Now if you're doing direct heat, you put it on the bottom like that, and you put your coal or your charcoal and you fill that up to the top. And then you take a little handy dandy lighter. You also want to make sure you have one of these. These are coming in handy, and we'll get to that. So you want to vent that and make sure the circulation goes. So you might want to prop it up. You could either use a little rock, 3/4 minus or so, or your red brick, and we'll get to your red brick in a second. So at any rate, so you got it propped up. You start it. Make sure it gets airflow. Make sure the paper all burns. And this will smolder a lot, but that's good because then all your coals will get hot. So check it a couple minutes later, and it should be glowing red. So when it's glowing red, then you take your mitt you got this protector so coals don't come down on you. You dump your coals on your bottom rung, and then you can take a barbecue brush or what have you, spread them out so it's even. And then you want to take your top grill where your food goes. You want to get that nice and hot. So now here comes the red brick. The red brick, when it's hot, I put my mitt on, and I just use the edge, and I just scrape it like that. Don't worry about the bottom, because that'll cook off into the coals. But that's as much cleaning as you need on the top. So now if you do indirect heat, so what you do is you have your top tray. Same process. Your paper, you flip it over, you prop it, get the circulation, put your coals in, start it, and then you have to get these. These are for indirect heat. So what you do is you put these on each side so your coals are ready. Don't forget your little mitt. And you distribute your coals on each side. Okay, and then you set this aside somewhere where it's flammable because it's going to be super hot. So your coals are ready, you're ready to put your food on there, and what the indirect does is it makes it an oven once you put the lid on. Now you just you can cook roasts, ribs that way. The ribs, you need a rib holder, and you set that in between the two. Actually, you could use another one to keep your ribs straight. So if you're doing 2 racks, it's good to put them in here and here. 3 racks is about the max on this type of grill without burning them. But at any rate, rib racks. So you may have to, it depends on what you're cooking, you may have to add some charcoal. And I use Diablo, that's the best in my opinion. And I'll just bust it up in little pieces and I'll put it on top. But I also want to keep this vented. So on top you have 4 holes with a slider. I crack them about 3/4. And also your arm down here. and I crack that 3/4 constantly. I don't ever change it. So that's it. You don't have to turn your food. You prep your food, put it in foil, put it on here, like I said, in the middle, and it circulates in the dome. That's indirect heat. That's it.